Hello guys, and welcome to a new WARNO video today by me, Vulcan. In this one I have for you a 10 versus 10 on none other than Loop, this big old long map, and I'm going to be playing with the 39th Guards Rifle Division. Let's have a quick look at what we're getting down. So at the start I do have some of these Igloo squads, of course, the man pads, very nice, going to be popping them in pairs in the town. Then I've got a UAZ 469 SPG9, which is the UAZ with the SPG on the back, the recoilless rifle. These things have like crazy low accuracy, like 19% base accuracy, but it's fun playing with the RPG, I suppose. There's the MIA MTA leading the charge with the BRM as my recon. I've also got an MI24 AA early on as well, just in case any aircraft come our way, and helicopters. I do have a T-64 BV there, got some Motostrauki in these BMPs. Two are coming in BMP3s with those Motostrauki there, and then we've got the Motostrauki with the Metis coming in with the BMP 1P. I've got a Barusa at the start, and I've also got another Motostrauki Metis on the left side. There we go, UAZ is going to be charging up, trying to find themselves some targets. These M113A Cavs, way more accurate than the SPG9. They actually have like 40% accuracy on the M67, whilst the SPG has, you know, the 19%. So whenever I hit something, it's actually quite spectacular. And I believe I did manage to hit the M113 with one shot, but yeah, all of those SPGs going up in flames, their ammo cooking off on the back of those trucks. Motostrauki Metis in the BMP 1P, gonna get slammed. I did just unload them, but because they unloaded so close, they get killed instantly by the HGM. That was unfortunate. Anyway, Leica's coming in with his own UAZ 469, zooming into the town here, looking for some shots on target, but going to be bumping into a bunch of enemy recoilless, two military police with M67s and the M113. These guys are getting absolutely wrecked. The M1A1HA going to be getting some free shots in there as well. And you can see I've decided to buy an SU-24 here in the bottom left that's going to be going for the shots onto the M1A1. BMP3 looking for the HGM onto the Chaparral. Unfortunately, not fast enough. Shots coming through there. Unfortunately, I get caught by the AA on the left. I was really hoping that my BMPs would do a little better here. My BMP3 is trying to engage this infantry. The BMPs do have this like really nice autocannon that can absolutely demolish infantry, but unfortunately the M67s managed to get the cohesion low on those BMP3s quite early on, so I lose both of them, and my Motostrauki squads go down soon after as well, since they kind of left out in the open. They don't have the range to kill the M113A3. My T-64 is trying its best to get shots on target here, but yeah, it's all in vain really. Mechanized rifles are in position up here with the Dragon 2, so I've got to be a little bit careful of the HGMs now if I'm going to advance with the T-64s. But the Motostrauki trying to make a little bit of ground. I do manage to take out one of the or both of the M67 military police squads in the end, but now the M1A1HA going to be taking shots at my T-64, so I've got to back off. We take two shots to the front there. He's looking for the third shot. Unfortunately for him, he doesn't hit, and because I get into cover here. I'm also going to have to get my Igloos out of here, because now we have enemy artillery coming in. That's going to be the MLRS cluster, sorry, not cluster, HE coming in there. Currently the MLRS HE on the enemy side, on the NATO side, is used quite a lot at the moment. I mean, so is the Eugen. The Eugens are used a lot, and I'm going to be using them in this game as well, just to try and counter battery, but also help support the front line. So for now, we're going to be chilling out, because there was quite an explosive start, lots of stuff. Tried to push into this town, but we didn't quite make it. If we could have got a foothold in here, it would have been really nice, because it would have given me a nice base to push into Olga. Now, Olga's quite far back, so it would have always been difficult to get there, but that was my initial plan, was to try and contest this town and then push to Olga. But now we're kind of in a bit of a different spot. Like, I can bring in like more of these BMP3s with Motostrauki to try and do this again, but I'm just going to have the same problem. So eventually what happens is I try and help contest Leonid instead. Nice hit there with the Motostrauki Metis onto the M1A1HA by Yagged on my right side here. On our left throughout the game we did have Ku. He was fighting Infamous. He was putting up a good fight, that's for sure. Mi-24 going to be moving in. This is the Mi-24 that I really like. It comes with 20 122mm rockets and the Kokon M HGM. So going to be trying to use that to hit the M3A1 Bradley here. I've got the Mi-8 MTA moving up to try and maintain line of sight on that. The Chaparral going to be firing away. It's one shot. And now we're going to have to fall back. I believe it didn't keep firing, probably because it ran out of ammo from attacking aircraft before. So my Mi-8 MTA here, going to be super lucky and get away from that. It just shows how tanky these Mi-8s can be with that extra armor. The PVAD's really struggling to shoot that down. Both of my helicopters there managed to get out alive just in time. So this time around, going about things a little bit differently, just like unloading the Motostrauki early so they aren't necessarily left out in the open. I am still going to push across here though, of course I am, but the idea is to have the Motostrauki reveal enemy infantry positions and then have the BMPs fire at them with their nice main autocannon here, the 30 mils. My BMP3 looking to launch the smoke there. Stop the HGM that's coming in. You can see how much damage that BMP3 did to the mechanized rifle there, killing 4 in the squad. Unfortunately, helicopter go down on the right hand side. M1A1 going to be moving up, looking for a nice HGM shot into that. Do manage to hit it, but get killed as well very soon after. These BMP3s, they can be super good, but I feel like there's sort of a role for them that involves not bumping into numerous M67 recoilless rifles. So yeah, going to be moving up this one now. Also, these HGMs do quite a lot of damage to them. HGMs are the bane of BMPs as well. I mean, there's a lot of things that kill BMPs in this game, so you do have to be kind of careful. But when they are uncontested, they absolutely demolish the enemy. So yeah. Anyway, T-64 is going to be pushing now into Leonid, so we're going to be helping Yagsource here try and contest this. Buster does come in, get shot down there. Doesn't get any damage onto the M1A1, which was unfortunate. Now my Motostrauki going to be trying to engage the mechanized rifles here, but the mechanized rifles do have 3 machine guns. We only have 1. Not ideal. Rockets firing away there onto the Iltis, going to be taking that out. I do need to take out this Fireteam Dragon. It's got to go at some point. Barusa going to be coming in to protect these against enemy cluster attacks. We still have these guys back here. I did bring up a Euro to fix these guys, but I believe I left them there for quite a while. They do look cool though. Look at that. Beautiful. There wasn't really much places for me to use those at the moment though, because the Chaparral's there. There's probably some man-pads in the town. The helicopter was on the right hand side, got shot down as well. So yeah, these the Mi-8 and the Mi-24 not too useful. I mean, the Mi-8 MTA probably could have been useful because it would have provided some recon further back, but yeah, going to be looking to counter-cap Leonid now. Enemy plane does go down. That's very nice. But yeah, the Superi Comroti going to be coming in. Now you can actually hide in these sort of tree lines that run through the fields. So that's what I'm going to be trying to do here, is get the Superi Comroti into this tree line that's on the edge of the zone here. These Motostrauki are going to get pushed out of position by the Napalm. I do have my 2 Iglas that are going to be trying to shoot down the Black Hawks. Eurogun's now on the field for Lycus. I'm brought up my own as well. There we go, look at that, firing away. Very cool. See, it was just a very fast back and forth here, like just continuously moving the T-64s backwards and forwards. Both of them pretty low on health right now though, down to that 3 health. Gonna need to repair those for sure. But gonna be getting my Eugen to hit these buildings, try and push out any units that are there so that we can secure this tree line and get a better foothold in Leonid, which would make the positioning of my Supericomrotti less obvious, because at the moment you can see the front line is like crossways like this, and it gives you an idea of where the enemy command unit is, and in this case, you know, that's pretty damning that it's in the corner there. So I've kind of forgotten about pushing into this town. It's kind of a waste of time. We are just building up on this side. Berusa going to be taking shots at an Apache. Managed to take that down. Really nice kill for us, actually. The Berusa's super effective at taking down helicopters. They can do it very, very quickly. But my Eugen finally firing away. And that's going to be trying to pin down or kill off any units left in this area. And then when I get the T-64s fixed up, we can push them back forwards. You can see my Euro now coming in to fix those up. On this side, Lycus was doing a good job of holding off Infamous, who, after bumping heads with Q, was trying to maybe come across the bridge instead and put some pressure onto Michael. But Lycus's units here were being annoying for sure. Apache hanging about there. Nothing to worry about at the moment. If that were to move forwards, my 2 Iglas here would easily take care of that. I've also got the Mi-24V here that's going to be a deterrent to any helicopters coming towards us. And also, I mean, these Mudstrokey units really don't have too much, honestly, stopping a push out of the town into our town. But I think it's just a threat. And I think this is something that is kind of down to the fact that recon isn't super powerful right now, but I was talking before about transport scouting, like how that's really effective because you can get really close. In this case though, it's more of like a standard game where no one's really using that tactic, and what that means is they're not able to see what I have in defense, and therefore they're unlikely to attack just because they don't know what's there. And that is a classic wargame thing, that is. Like in Still Division, it wasn't so much of a problem because you had the front line, and therefore you kind of knew if there was something there, or if you were like likely to bump into contact at least. Whereas you can pretty much place nothing in the town here, and then they wouldn't know, right? Unless they scouted it. Or like just sent something to run in here. So yeah, it's a completely different way of playing, and it's very interesting actually. But regardless, T-64 is going to be engaging this area, and we're starting to clean them out. BTR 60PB going to be my sacrifice pushing forwards just to see what we're up against here. And then the T-64 BBs can happily engage. They're also being buffed by the Supericomrotti back here, which is making them both 3-star veterancy. So that's really nice. Monostrike Metis going to be having a go at the M1A1HA. They do get stunned, but they do leave a chunk in that M1A1's armor. You can see we took 4 health off it. BTR 60PB going to be helping with the scouts and the Fireteam Dragon. Fireteam Dragon going to be taking quite a few hits there. They do get routed. I've also now got the rockets coming in from the Eugen once again. I love the sound, like when they pop on the ground. It sounds really cool. Issue I did have, of course, is that they're not particularly accurate, and for the Eugen to actually do damage, it's got to hit very close to its target. There was a couple units kind of sneaking around the side here. I do have the Berusa that can kill infantry squads quite quickly, but I was forced to move up my BMP 1Ps to counteract these Fireteam Dragons moving around the side there. T-64 is also going to be moving in that direction, as I don't want them to flank and find the position of the Supericomrotti. Yag's still trying to make a little bit of a move here, moving up the BMP and the Motostrauki. Yeah, I don't know if you guys saw that, but as soon as the Berusa gets on target, these guys get deleted. It is crazy how good that is. Right, it's currently a +3 for our opponents across the map. So things slowly but surely going in the direction of our enemy. The two 3-star T-64s did manage to get the better of the M1A1, which is really nice. That was an M1A1HA. Now, of course, here comes the cluster munitions. And I'm going to try and split these T-64s. One of them is going to go down. Unfortunate. If it had managed to get on the road there, I might have been able to dodge it. But at least this one managed to stay alive. I was quite happy to trade a T-64 for an M1A1 because the T-64 is, you know, a little bit cheaper and I guess less valuable overall than an M1A1HA is. Also now bringing up a Sturm to sit back here. I was going to try and use the line of sight to this left side to harass this tree line because they kept moving in units over here. Like Rainbow Dash was now supporting the left side of Leonid just like I was. So I think originally Rainbow Dash was the guy who I was up against in the town, and so he's now supporting Leonid, I'm now supporting Leonid, and then Mr. Spark and Yag's also going up against each other directly. Another plane going to be coming in, more cluster munitions on their way. I was again trying to dodge that with a fast move command. Thankfully, just off target. These cluster munition strikes are also likely to try and snipe the CV that's in the corner. But there is now 2 CVs here. You can see I brought up another Sapeli Comrati. Like when you are in a contesting situation like that, like this we're currently in, having 2 commands in the sector is actually really important to maintain positioning in a sector should one of them get killed. Also, in the case of WARNO, they provide extra veterancy, so that tank managed to get a shot off the at the M1A1. The M1A1 just so much stronger in this case, so is gonna win out. But here go the Eugens. I've now got 2 of them. Misoprop got 2 of them here. Lycus has got 2 of them. Lots and lots of Eugens, but our opponents also have the M270 MLRS as well. So everybody firing those away throughout the game. Another supply going to be coming in here, because I do need to continue to fix up these T-64 BVs. You can see that I've made that one run out just by fixing up my tanks and so on. Got the rockets coming in for the M1A1. And this is going to be a theme throughout the game. Oh, Igla there going to get popped by the M1A1 on the left. Napalm is going to be coming in. Barusa gets off a couple of shots, but check out all the MiG-31s going to be firing off their long-range missiles and shooting that down. Lovely job there by Broseph. Very nice indeed. And that's kind of like the way you got to use those MiG-31s. You don't want them to get into dogfights because they have really long-range rockets or missiles. So if you just like bring them in and right-click them at the back of the map, anytime any planes come in, they're going to launch like a salvo of missiles towards the enemy aircraft, and you don't even have to get close. And then you can kind of force enemy aircraft to have to come to you over your AA. So that can be the really, really strong thing about MiG-31s. Of course, MiG-31s don't have the best accuracy, so it's likely that a lot of missiles will miss, but that's the price you pay for your safety. Eugen, again firing away. Yaxos also has his own now, so we're looking for the rockets on target here to try and make a little bit more ground. And we're still obviously trying to push now the enemy out of Leonid. T-64 does manage to pick up the Bradley on the left-hand side. I believe another Ural went down here in exactly the same spot as the last. M1A1 being very consistent. More cluster coming in. Actually ends up pulling off before it drops. And finally, I've brought over my Mi-24s. So, got the Kokon missile that I can fire away. I've also got the 122mm missiles, and you can see how quickly they demolish infantry. That was only 4 rockets, we killed that scout. Very nice indeed. MIA MTA gonna get shot at by the Chaparral, but managed to move back in time. Enemy MLRS is coming in. Sapeli Comrati not having a good time here. Hoping to pull them out of the sector. It doesn't really matter if they die because I still have the one on the left, but obviously preferably want to keep them alive if I can. So Iglis coming in. I've also got an Osa back here, actually 2 Osas. The cover, plenty of AA. We are going to spot the M577 here. A nice kill by the Mi-24 VP to pick off that tank. Sturm on the left is taking long-range shots at the M280. These Sturms are actually really nice because they do have the 2,827 meter range, but not being able to one-shot a M2A2 with the 3 front armor is a little bit sad. I do manage to trade here on the left-hand side, take out the M67, but the M67 recoilless does get the shot onto the Barusa, so I do lose that. It was unfortunate. Lycus does still have his Barusa here though, if another unit were to come through. Currently still a +1 for the NATO side. They are slowly but surely winning this game. Let's just have a look at the game elsewhere. But this is probably the main place where they're winning out. Like, they've got the Chariton sector. Right side's completely even at the moment, both sides struggling to get across the water. Yeah, Chariton being completely under the control of the NATO side is obviously unfortunate. But we're contesting here, I believe, which is causing... Well, yeah, we need to keep these contested and we need to hold this, really, in order to cancel it out. Anyway, BMP now moving forwards. We've managed to actually push forwards quite a bit, and finally we capture Leonid. Nice push here by Lycus and his reserve forces. I am Mi-24 looking for some shots further up, trying to get the HGM on target of the M2A2, and also I can get the rockets down, targeting that one on the left. Vulcan M gonna be finishing it off. T-64 also moving in on that left hand side now, showing side armor to the M1A1 wasn't ideal, but the M1A1 takes a shot and kills the supply truck here and takes out my T-64. That having the 3-star vet there was doing so much work. Like, my reinforcements coming up this road, I really should have done something about that sooner. Let the counter battery wars begin, because as you can see, enemy MLRS is now targeting our MLRS, and I'm going to be firing my Eugens now back at their M270. So this is going to be another theme of this game, is just each side trying to launch missiles at the other, do as much damage as possible. Mi-24 now going to look for the shot onto the scouts here, moving that up with its cannon. Try and kill that scout unit, but they are now going to get kind of hidden in the buildings here. M48A1 Chaparral gets attacked by the BMP2. I believe it also fired a missile which fell short, so it did damage itself slightly. More MLRS coming in. This time my poor Eagler squad is going to be the target. Could have also been my Mi-24, I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, now going to be pushing around the left-hand side with the Motostrelki Metis. This Motostrelki Metis is currently trying to kill the M1A1 there. Second shot on target would do the job, but it does manage to get into cover. Mi-24 coming up with its rockets. And yeah, I really don't have too much right now. Like, on the map, my T-64s have died. My Mi-24 is kind of out of ammo, so it's not really useful for killing a Chaparral. It could kill it with the Kokon, but that would require the Chaparral to probably miss all of its missiles before the Kokon even got on target. But yeah, mainly it's just the Iglis. I've got the double Sapadi Komloti obviously capturing the place, and so we're now into a +1 as we have captured this sector. Big artillery coming into the town. Lycus doing a nice push here with his BTR 60 PBs and Motostrelki squads. Buster coming in on the left hand side looking for the T80 BV. We're going to be launching all of these Iglis, and that's going to get picked off again by the Mi-31s. So nice kills there. I'm going to be using Yagsource's supply to resupply my Mi-24V at the back. we're going to see that supply truck almost get hit there by the BMP 1P. Brenza squad though, in position here, is doing quite a decent job of pinning the mechanized rifles. It managed to get a stun off on them quite early on, before their cohesion was even low. That was really good. Now more BMP is going to be moving up though. My Mi-24 are going to move back forwards. So the Mi-24 with rockets, looking for shots onto these units coming in for the counterattack. I do need to be careful though, because there is of course the PVADs and the Chaparral that we can both see. And I mean, the Mi-24V here is useful because it obviously has rockets, but primary use for this is actually air-to-air. With the Chaparral moving forwards, I'm going to be cautious and move that back. We do have a couple of BMP2s here. I think I actually probably forgot about these for quite a while. It does happen. Eugens are sitting there, but we're going to be bringing in more reinforcements now. 2 more BMP3 Motorstrauki and the BMP 1P Motorstrauki with the Messes squads. Leica's going to be dropping his rockets on the right hand side, and big airstrikes doing lots of damage right now. Big pushes coming through. Look at that. Oh, it's just absolutely crazy how much fire can come in here. It looks beautiful. It's just crazy. Yeah, nice job. They managed to clean out this sector. We're now at the +2. Although our opponents have now managed to creep a command unit into the left-hand side here. So Leonid no longer ours completely. My Strokey mess is almost side-shot the M1A1 there. Rainbow Dash going to be moving that back, of course. I've now got some more Sapelli moving up this road. Fortunately for me, the M1A1 has moved back out of position, so I think we're pretty safe to get up this road. I would suggest, if you are playing the game yourselves, guys, that you do check for your reinforcing roads like this, because I could have very easily kept losing units by using that road for the rest of the game, and I just didn't really think to check for the entire time. Yeah, the Sapelli have arrived, the BMP3s have arrived, looking to make another solid push through the front here in order to secure Leonid. Yeah, Ivan well and truly under our command for the time being. There is a bunch of M1A1s here though, so it'd be interesting to see how they deal with those. Lots of Gvozdika fire coming in from Tiny Rick. He's got 5 of these bad boys to help him support at close range. And Motorstrauki with these BMPs going to be moving up. One of them gets popped immediately by the M1A1 cluster. Strike going to be coming in onto the infantry, not too much of a problem. And it gets shot down again by the MiG-31s, so really nice reactions there throughout the game for those MiG-31s to get the job done. Cluster coming in, looking for the shot onto the M1A1. Unfortunately bump into an F-16C Fighting Falcon, which we do reply with the shutdown, but with another shot coming up from the left side, my Su-24 does go down. Do a little bit of damage to the M1A1, but it's literally just 1 damage. So instead, going to be bringing in the Su-25HGM plane, which does have that beautiful 30 AP missile, the KH-29D. I'm going to be looking for that M1A1 kill, because if we can get rid of that, then I can push forwards my Motorstrauki and other units much easier. Su-24 coming in with Napalm Strike. And here we go, here comes the Su-25. This thing is like so loud. I was hoping just kind of have it hover around here, but I kind of greed for the AH-1F and goodbye. Gets shot down, lands on the arrow rifles, actually does a little bit of damage there. Loads of Su-24s coming in from Tiny Rick. One of them does go down, the other 2 are going to get out alive. Nice strikes coming through. And now with my 2 T-64 BVs arriving, I'm going to be able to push up once again. Sapelli trying to make their way around the left-hand side where the Motorstrauki met us here. Unfortunately bumping into air rifles, so not too much going on. Currently a +2 for our opponents, so we can see that I am being counter-batteried again, this time by MLRS cluster. I was really lucky for these shots not to hit. Until they did. And one of the Eugen's gonna go down there. I believe the other one managed to stay alive. Mortar coming back the opposite direction here. Onto Mr. Blop's Monostrelki, and you see the cluster firing back from both sides. The Boris CV, I guess, got sniped by enemy rockets, which is why the Boris sector's gone. But with these being contested, things currently +4 for the enemy. So we've got to really try and push now. Take out the command units on the left hand side. Cluster strike comes in again. The OSA trying to get the shot up there. Sounds really cool. But yeah, the T-64 going to push up with the T-80Bs of Lycus behind it. These T-64 BB already took some damage. Did just about manage to not get side shot there by the mechanized rifles. Do manage to pin them down. And these Mostrelki able to get up in here and do some good damage. This Mostrelki BMP going to get the shots onto the M1A1. But we leave it very low on health, and it's going to pull back for the time being. I was really unlucky not to get that last RPG in there. One of them missed after the first one hit. So, yeah, kind of sad. Anyway, going to push really hard. The Mostrelki still looking for the RPG shot. Do miss again, but I managed to get a shot onto a damaged M1A1HA. And this T-64 going to have the range onto the M1A1 Abrams CP. So we take out that as well. 2 lovely kills there. And my T-64 BVs are still alive, so that's good. But after that's killed, we realise there is another command in here, of course. So, yeah, not ideal. Kiowa also going to be getting a decent Hellfire shot onto my T-64. So, yeah. Going to have to try and fall back here. M1A1 going to get the side shot. I'm quite happy though. I managed to get a nice side shot into his M1A1 with my Sturm, so that was good. But 2 T-64 BVs for an M1A1 plus the command tag. Yeah, I wasn't too unhappy about that. Just the M1A1 flanking me there was unfortunate. So Mi-24 going to be moving up a little bit there. Going to be getting this Mi-24V up. I should have had that really supporting my push here earlier on, because it would have been able to take out the Kiowa, which would have been a really nice kill. But I didn't. So missed out on that. This Mi-8, this is quite literally suiciding forwards here, just so that I can find out where the enemy AA is, whilst my Mi-24 tries to shoot down the Kiowa. So fire all of the missiles, and would you look at that, we leave it on 1 health. And I decide that I want to get a little bit greedy, and then I kind of change my mind. I don't want the PVADs to come over and start killing this. And the M1A1 Abrams is also doing a decent amount of damage there, so yep, going to be falling back. 50 cows hurt. That managed to survive on 1 health. Another Mi-8 is brought up to replace the one that I suicided forwards. The other reason was to try and spot the command that was back here, because again, we're still trying to take Leonid. But yeah, going back to the game in general, the reason I wanted to show this game was because it was a very balanced game. For a 10v10, like, this was like crazy balanced. Again, all of the Mi-31s, or MiG-31s, sorry, coming in. Don't manage to shoot down that one this time. But yeah, it was generally very balanced the whole way across. Like, this side completely balanced, this side completely balanced. You got like the center area. Like, Chariton kind of fell, unfortunately, but now you can see our team's pushing back in there, so that's great. And what that's basically going to do is level out the game and stop the advantage that our opponents had. My Eugen still trying to stay alive. I'm going to send the supply trucks one way and the Eugen the other way, because MLRS cluster coming in again to counter battery my Eugen. Got an MI8 MT coming in to provide some extra fire support against enemy infantry and light vehicles. Got my 2 C64 BVs again. They're going to be trying to double team their way up into Leonid. Eventually. So yeah, things have definitely like equaled out for the time being. Just fighting going on everywhere across the map. Like, I still really can't get over how epic like 10v10s are in this game. Just purely from like a visual standpoint. Just there's always going on. Always something going on. And I mean, I guess in gameplay standpoint as well. Just constant artillery fire going across the map. Airstrikes coming in all over the place. Another big bombing strike here. There's just so much to look at. MI8 going to be smashing the M1A1 there. Do manage to stun it long enough for the T64 BVs to get some good damage down. And with that last second of stun, we take it down to 1 health and the HGM goes in its face. So there we go. M1A1 does get taken out. Very good. Rockets are all used up, so going to be going to land next to this Euro. Strelky trying to push up here. Or yanked. We can take out the mechanized rifles. We can of course now see the M577 CPC. And he's going to be pulling back there. Bantam getting very close. That's going to get taken out. Going to be looking for the engagement with the M1A1 on the left side there. My Eugen, going to be firing away onto the enemy tree line. F111's coming in with napalm now, one with cluster. Cluster 1 does get a really nice cluster strike onto my 264 here. One of them gets damaged quite a bit. This one ends up getting hit by the M1A1. Aero rifles also trying to push forwards to get their law on target, but way too far away. So M1A1 taking hits, T80B and the MI24V, taking that down to less than 5 health, so it's going to be 4 health there. Chaparral though, now coming up to get the shot off, managed to pull back just in time, stop that firing a second shot. The T64 is going to move forwards and engage the aero rifles. I was hoping to catch out the M1A1 since I'd already done a lot of damage and it was getting low on cohesion, which means if I had shot at it again it probably would have got stunned. But the T80Bs also now joining the fray, 2 of these T80BVs. So we're kind of getting to a point where I'm hopeful that I can overwhelm my opponent. Multi-Striker on the right hand side gets a really nice hit into the M1A1HA there. That was perfect. But once again, the rocket artillery coming along, and guess what that's doing? It's counter-battering my Eugen. I had to really be on my toes with using the Eugen throughout the game. But there goes another supply truck. Gonna be YOLOing that into the enemy since it's out of supply. Just to kind of see what's going on. The thing is with supply trucks though, unlike empty transports, they do automatically get targeted even if your opponent doesn't have the order on. But in this case, Mr. Spock, he does have fire at will against unarmed transports regardless, so the Euro is not really going to spot anything. T80BV engaging the M1A1. These T80BVs are kind of taking the position of the T64 BVs in the meantime, and I've got another supply truck on the way. Well, I'm sending one from my Eugen. Because my Eugen wasn't being that effective throughout the game, I kind of thought that it'd be better off if I used the supply here to actually repair the tanks, because I had actually ran out of supply at this point. We do manage to secure one of the middle objectives, so we've now found that +1, which is good. And we definitely do have the momentum in this objective. There are 2 more T80BVs on the way to support this attack, and so that makes it 6 tanks. This one also coming back to get repaired. This one currently trying to dodge the cluster MLRS that's coming in here onto this tree line. And we've also got all of these airplanes, or sorry, helicopters, ready and waiting to take off and help out with any push. And Lycus did bring in a supply for me, which is very nice of him. But just watch how quickly this drains. Goodbye. Because that's trying to repair and rearm 2 T-64BVs, the T-80BV, and the rockets on the Mi-MT and the Mi-24. So the UAC got absolutely slurped. Migs again, really nice job shooting down the A-10. Didn't even get close to attacking the front line. A-10s can be really good, but in the 10v10, I don't think so. Like, I think in like a 1v1, 2v2 scenario, A-10s could probably be very strong. But in a sort of team scenario where there's always going to be like strong aircraft in position, it's going to be difficult. Like with someone like Broseph here being ready to bring in his Mi-24s, or sorry, MiG-31s every time that somebody brings in a plane, yeah, it's going to be difficult. Tiny Rick, really good job of sneaking some Motostrelki across this bridge. It was undefended in the end, so he managed to get these right towards the spawn, which is going to start cutting them off. And by cutting them off here, and eventually over here, or at least, you know, distracting them here, he's going to be able to, you know, stop the reinforcements coming in to Ivan. I do take out the M577 CPC at the back here, but there's still, of course, another command in there. Meanwhile, in the mid, though, we're at a +6 because both Ivan and Chariton are fully under our control. So that's really, really nice. And we are one step closer to fully controlling Leonid, having taken out the command there. But now Ku, you can see that Ku's kind of come across, just as his opponent did as well, Infamous. He's come across to try and push into this town now. And like the engagement just went from over here and then slowly moved across for these two players. Just like I moved across, to be honest, into Leonid. It's just as well I did, because it has been, I think, the right thing to do to contest Leonid. Pushing through the town would have just been futile for the rest of the game. My Mi-8 moving up with my tanks here to provide recon onto the enemy infantry and tanks. This M1A1 did get fixed up, so do have to be a bit careful about the engagement. If it was on low health, my 2 T-80BVs probably could have just rushed it, but I'm going to be getting my helicopters to take off, like as this time, making sure he has more than enough supply to sort me out. So thankfully reloaded the Mi-24 there. M1A1 is going to be in position. That's going to be the thing that's capping the sector right now. F111E with the HE bombs does come in. I do lose my T-80BV, I think, to the M1A1HA. But going to be getting the Gatling cannon on target there. Unfortunately, M48 does come up. Not much I can do about that. Shoots down my helicopter. But we've managed to take out the M1A1, and our opponent in this sector is going to surrender. And as you can see across the map, things have broken down completely. Tiny Rick managed to find and kill the command in what's that, Sergey here, and then also Roman got decapped as well. We've capped all of the middle sectors, so now things, yeah, really getting out of hand for the enemy. M1A1HA does go down as we engage that with the T-64BVs, but my Su-25 still dying, thankfully, just misses hitting all of my units over here that were getting repaired and such. These T-64s had to move back in order to get repaired. Same with the T-80. I only realised that later on. I thought they would already be repaired, but yeah, I moved back. Suck up Lycus's supply. Mi-MT going to be moving forwards. With the rocket strike coming down onto this area, I was more confident that I'd be able to move up my Mi-24s again. Yeah, we're just in a really good spot right now. Like, our opponent has surrendered pretty much in this sector. and we got a plus 14 across the map, so it's going to be very quickly a victory for our side. But what a game it was. What a game it was. For a 10v10 lasting this long, it's like actually crazy, like such a big battle. And this is exactly what you'd kind of expect a sort of Cold War gone hot scenario to look like. Just tons of armor and stuff just facing off like this. Big old battle, everything burning. Oh, crazy stuff. Anyway, in the end, I went 4,103 kills to 4,515 losses. So it's actually like a negative game for me. But Tiny Rick there doing really well with 7,513 kills. But look at Attila up here with the 11,528 kills. Absolutely insane. Yeah, really good job by Brosif to use the MiG-31s. He got 3,748 kills to 1,430 losses. So that was really good. Let's just have a quick look at the kills and losses. So the T-64s going up against M1A1s, making that work was super important. But the main way that T-64s are going to beat an M1A1 is either by it already being stressed by something like the rocket pods, or if you 2v1. Like a 2v1, generally T-64 is going to win, because I think it takes like 3 shots at like a longer range for an M1A1 to kill a T-64. So you have the time to get the shots on target. It's going to take you about 6 shots from a T-64 to probably kill an M1A1 though. So yeah, but you can see they were managing to do the job. T-64 killing the M1A1. The HAs are super, super important. I did let, you know, a little bit too many things get killed unnecessarily, especially a lot of the transports that got pushed up on the left-hand side. Some of my planes just got shot down without really doing anything. A lot of like the cluster bombers and stuff. By bringing in the cluster bombers on their own in that scenario, it's just like not a good idea. Like in a 10v10, because they're just going to get shot down because there's so much AA on the map. The M3A1 Bradley here took out quite a few units early on. This M1A1 HA, look at this. Actually disgusting. Really, really good job there to take out a lot of my tanks. That was the one that was tucked in the tree line on the left-hand side for the most of the game. Took out so much of my stuff. And it was the main thing that I just couldn't deal with. Like a lot of the other M1A1 HAs were easy, but that particular one got repaired and got so many kills, and it just maintained 3 vet for so long. It was just, yeah, very well used by Rainbow to kind of kick me in the side there as I tried to help out Leonid. But yeah, anyway, that's it. I'm going to leave it there. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that 10v10. It was really, really fun to play, and having a 10v10 that like lasted that long was absolutely awesome. I really enjoyed it. I think it did show that like over time the Soviet forces have a little bit more longevity at the moment in terms of availability, and that does allow you to like overwhelm the enemy eventually. But I mean, it's almost historically accurate, right? I don't know. Anyway, that's it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.